Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you ever come across a law that seems so bizarre, so oddly specific, that you can't help but laugh and wonder why it even exists? Well, California has one such law that has been puzzling people for decades. According to this law, it is allegedly illegal to eat an orange while sitting in a bathtub. Yes, you heard that right. Sitting in your bathtub, peeling and eating an orange, could be considered breaking the law. Now, this sounds absurd at first glance. Why would any government worry about someone enjoying a fruit in the comfort of their own bathroom? And does this law still hold any power today? In this video, we're going to explore the strange origins of this law, why it came into existence, how weird it is compared to modern legal standards, and whether it has any relevance in today's world. By the end of this video, you might find yourself questioning the weirdest laws in California and maybe even the entire United States. Before we dive in, imagine sitting in your bathtub, relaxing after a long day, reaching for a juicy orange, and suddenly remembering, you might be breaking the law. That mental image alone is enough to make anyone raise an eyebrow. But this law, like many other strange regulations, has an interesting story behind it. This so-called bathtub orange law is said to have emerged sometime around the 1920s to 1930s. To understand why this law was supposedly made, we need to look at the historical context of California during this period. The 1920s was a time of rapid urbanization, population growth, and modernization of city infrastructure, including water supply and plumbing systems. With more people moving into urban areas and more homes being equipped with indoor plumbing, city authorities became increasingly concerned about maintaining public health and the functionality of plumbing systems. The reasoning behind the law seems to be practical, albeit extremely specific. Authorities reportedly worried that eating oranges, or other messy foods, in the bathtub could lead to juice or pulp mixing with bathwater, potentially causing blockages or damage in the plumbing pipes. Think about it. In an era before modern plumbing standards and water treatment systems, even minor obstructions could lead to significant problems, such as backed up pipes, sanitation issues, and costly repairs. Beyond the plumbing concerns, there were likely public health motivations as well. At the time, bathrooms were considered semi-public spaces in some multi-unit housing, and authorities wanted to prevent any potential contamination of water. Peeling oranges can release sticky juice and pulp, which could mix with the bathwater. In crowded living conditions, this might have been seen as a minor but legitimate health risk. Of course, it's important to note that the historical documentation of this law is sketchy at best. Most sources that mention it do so in the context of weird laws lists, rather than official state records. It's possible that the law was never fully codified, or it may have been part of an old municipal regulation that eventually faded into obscurity. Nevertheless, it remains a fascinating anecdote and a perfect example of how laws can sometimes address the most mundane and unexpected human behaviors. The true charm of the bathtub orange law is its sheer absurdity. Even without knowing its origins, the idea of banning a fruit from a bathtub seems comically unnecessary in modern times. People today are astonished when they hear about it. How could legislators, who are supposed to focus on serious societal issues, spend time writing a law about someone enjoying an orange while bathing? This law is often cited alongside other famously bizarre laws from around the world, such as prohibitions on carrying ice cream in your back pocket in Alabama or walking an elephant through downtown Seattle. The common thread among these laws is that they were written in response to very specific incidents or perceived problems, which over time became codified into law. Another interesting aspect is that the law is almost certainly unenforced today. Nobody has been arrested, fined, or prosecuted for eating an orange in the bathtub in California. Yet, its legacy persists because people love to share weird laws online. It has become a cultural curiosity, a topic that sparks laughter, disbelief, and discussion about the nature of legislation itself. The public's fascination with such laws shows that humans are naturally drawn to the strange and unexpected. These peculiar laws also remind us of the historical quirks and priorities of past generations. While modern society would likely never enforce such a law, it offers a glimpse into how people once thought about public order, sanitation, and behavior regulation, even down to what someone eats while relaxing in a bathtub. So, is this law still active? Can you actually get in trouble for eating an orange in the bathtub in 2025? The short answer is almost certainly no. Legal experts who study Quirky and old legislation agree that this law is either obsolete or was never seriously enforced to begin with. California, like many states, has undergone decades of legal reform, repealing outdated statutes and clarifying ambiguities. Laws that were written in the 1920s or 1930s, especially those addressing trivial matters, were often quietly removed from the legal code or simply ignored. While it might still exist in some old legal texts, it no longer has any practical application in contemporary law enforcement. Even so, the law survives in popular culture. It is frequently listed on websites, books, and social media accounts that focus on weird laws or strange rules across the United States. Its continued presence online ensures that it remains a topic of conversation and entertainment. People are fascinated by the idea that lawmakers once spent time thinking about something so trivial and specific. The lesson here is that laws can reflect the values and priorities of their time, but they are not always timeless. What was once considered important, like keeping bathwater uncontaminated by fruit juice, can become obsolete, amusing, and even absurd from a modern perspective. It reminds us to take historical laws with a grain of humor while appreciating the quirky stories they tell about the past. Now let's make this interactive. Imagine you were told today that eating an orange in your bathtub is illegal. How would you react? Would you laugh it off, or would you take it seriously? This is the perfect moment to ask your audience to engage. Encourage them to comment their reactions. For example, would you follow this law or ignore it completely? Do you think laws like this should be abolished or kept as fun pieces of history? Engaging your viewers in this way not only increases comments but also boosts the video's performance in YouTube's algorithm. Strange laws like this one naturally spark curiosity and debate, making them ideal content for generating viewer interaction. You can also broaden the discussion. Ask viewers to share other bizarre laws they know, either from California or from other parts of the world. This creates a sense of community and encourages them to return for more content in the future. To wrap up, the California bathtub orange law may sound ridiculous, but it serves as a fascinating glimpse into the past. It illustrates how laws sometimes address unexpected, seemingly trivial issues and shows the evolution of public priorities over time. While no one is going to be arrested for enjoying a citrus fruit in their bathtub today, it remains a beloved piece of legal trivia. If you enjoyed learning about this law, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos on strange and unusual laws from across the United States. Leave a comment below telling us which state's weird laws you want to see next. We might just feature it in a future video. Remember, these quirky laws aren't just funny, they also tell us about history, culture, and the way societies have evolved. So next time you peel an orange, you might want to do it outside the bathtub, or at least think about the strange law that once made it illegal.